Did it have to happen? Did Clemens walk into an ambush of his own making with his lawyer holding his arm and escorting him all the way? Let's bring in Fox News legal analyst Bob Massi and defense attorney. Guys, good to see you. Bob, let me start with you. This indictment could have been avoided. But apparently, Clemens' hotshot, brash Texas lawyer Rusty Hardin appeared to encourage his client to confront the media, to speak out, to call essentially George Mitchell a liar and the Mitchell report a series of lies. And he even taunted Congress to investigate. They complied, and then appears without a subpoena. He didn't have to appear. I mean, if it's true, Bob, that this was the legal advice that Roger Clemens was getting, was that bad advice?
Well, assuming that everything that's been reported is true, and obviously you and I as lawyers know there's a lot more that goes into it, it surely doesn't appear to be now, does it? I mean, why would you volunteer this information and knowing that you didn't have to do it and do it both and then expose yourself to these type of now charges? I don't know enough to say that it was good or bad advice, but, you know, right. We're always smarter the next day. But I must tell you, retrospectively, it was crazy to volunteer it and, of course, allegedly lie under oath.
And, David, was it also crazy for Rusty Hardin to file a defamation lawsuit on behalf of his client against the principal accuser, Brian McNamee, because when you it voluntarily puts your client's veracity and steroid use, alleged steroid use, at issue, front and center, when it didn't have to be.
Well, obviously this was client-driven. I agree with Bob.
Are you sure?
I don't think the lawyers could have wanted to put him in that spot. I mean, the bottom line is the defamation case was dismissed. So in the end, it never put him out there like that, the same way the hearing did in this case. But there's a lot more to the thinking. Obviously, a Monday morning quarterback, it was not a good move.
David, let me ask you this. If your client wanted to get out there and talk about this, wouldn't you tell him, don't do it? And by the way, if you do it, I'm not going to be your lawyer anymore.
I tell my clients all the time to shut their mouth, and that's the bottom line. You want your clients to be as quiet as possible.
And don't you also say, you better follow advice or get another lawyer? Don't you say that, David?
I don't say you better follow my advice. It's a collaborative effort. But most of the time, I'm usually pretty persuasive. So most of the time, they do follow my advice.
Bob, what do you think?
Well, Greg, look, we have seen, and you have covered, David has seen, uncontrollable clients in the media. We just saw an Illinois ex-governor who was an uncontrollable defendant that got lucky. We've seen athletes that do it. They have this ego and narcissism. But obviously, everybody always does try to blame the lawyers. You're absolutely right. You can say to a client, listen, as a matter of fact, I know for a fact some lawyers that got out of represented Robert Blake because he gave that particular interview that one time. If they don't listen and you can't control your client as a lawyer at some point, assuming you don't prejudice your client, David, you got to step away, or you better protect yourself.
David,
if you don't.
Here's the problem. You can't really call Roberts the witness stand if you're defending him, because he's got credibility problems. He is arguably an admitted liar because he lied to his wife and family and friends about an extensive affair that he had. So if he takes the witness stand, won't the first question be, isn't it true, Mr. Clemens? You're a liar. And Clemens kind of has to answer yes.
Yes, Greg, moving forward, this perjury case for Roger Clemens does have a road to victory. However, that road to victory does not involve Roger Clemens taking the stand. Question about that. There is enough to work with from the defense standpoint to attack the credibility and the veracity of McNamara and to attack this evidence. It's not easy to prove a perjury case.
It's not just Brian McNamee, Bob. You've also got Andy Pettit, a sworn statement in which he says Roger Clemens confessed to me that he was doing those illicit drugs. And you have physical evidence, syringes containing Clemens' DNA and the drugs.
Greg, let's not put the guy in jail yet. I mean, he has the right to defend himself, number one.
Wait, that's a court of law. This is a court of public opinion.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, public opinion, you win. Okay, you won that one. What I'm saying is this: I think Pettit hurts him the most because he's surely is the most credible guy. Now, let's talk about the scientific evidence. What I always third witness.
Right.
You're not gonna win that case just on scientific evidence.
Right.
Okay? You're not gonna get
but
a conviction on
that. Greg, the needles were in the custody and control of McNamee. Okay? Who saves needles? I mean, come on, give me a break. He could have easily gotten Clemens' DNA on those needles with the steroids.
And so McNamee was injecting lidocaine for the joint pain. You don't do that. You don't inject it into the buttocks for joint pain. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, the B12 issue was out there. We know that. They say that was everybody was saying I'm getting B12 shots. But perjury is not easy to prove, Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not like a slam dunk.
And why are we spending the government's resources on this in the first place? Ridiculous.
And the affair would never come in evidence if he got on the stand.
Maybe a plea deal.
Kicked out.
Bob Massi, David.